Hello, welcome to my channel, Hustle and Slow, where I talk all about making money from home and building multiple streams of income. My name is Eileen and I am a work-at-home mom and I support my family full-time from home. Today I'm making a video that I've been wanting to make for the last couple of months about how I made over $32,000 part-time on Fiverr last year. As a little bit of backstory, back in 2020, we were planning to RV full-time and I was looking for other streams of income because I was reselling full-time and I didn't have room for all of that inventory. So I decided to jump on Fiverr, put up a couple gigs, and see if people would hire me to write articles for them. After a while, I started getting a lot of orders and it really became a large chunk of my income, and it was enough to really help support my family. So in 2021, I continued to work on Fiverr. We bought a house and I was able to work a little bit more, but I actually ended up making more money for less time. So I worked less and made more on Fiverr. So I thought it'd be good to look at my numbers on Fiverr for 2021 and compare them to 2020 and see how much better I did and kind of take a look at those numbers and just dig into them a little bit more and share how much you can realistically make on Fiverr as a part-time freelancer. So I have the numbers right here, so I'll be looking at my phone a little bit, but I'll also post some screenshots for you so that you can take a look at the numbers in my actual Fiverr account to show that I really made those numbers. So in 2021, over the course of the entire year, I made $32,937.64, and that was working a total of 213 hours over the course of the year. I use an app called Toggle on my computer to track all of my time so that I know how much time I'm spending on the different tasks that I'm doing. So that's how I know how much time I spent working on Fiverr. If you want to compare that to 2020, in 2020 I made $17,950 and I worked 306 hours. So I made about half as much money in 2020 working 100 more hours than I did in 2021. So if we kind of break those down more, in 2021 I made about $154 per order, and in 2020, I made about $58 per order. And if we want to break that down hourly, that comes out to about $101.97 per hour on Fiverr in 2021 versus $58.66 per hour on Fiverr in 2020. Now I want to say $56 an hour for a college dropout who is writing articles and doing Pinterest services, so Pinterest management and Pinterest optimization. I have no formal training in any of this. I'm a college dropout, so $56 an hour is amazing, but $101 an hour is not something that I ever thought that I would make on any platform working for anybody. So I'm pretty amazed by these numbers. I'm really proud of them, and it is a really good income for me and my family. Now I did work really hard and it did take over a year to get to these numbers. Obviously, if I started, I think it was April or May of 2020, and now it's May of 2022. So now we're 2 years in and I'm still making around $100 an hour on the very few orders that I'm doing on Fiverr right now, since I'm focusing more on my own businesses rather than working for other clients. But I did work hard to get there, but it is possible on Fiverr. And I just wanted to kind of show these numbers so that people understand that you really can make a good income from home. $32,000, almost $33,000 working part-time as a stay-at-home mom is an amazing income. I don't have any doubt that if I wanted to pursue Fiverr full-time, I could make over $100,000 writing articles and doing Pinterest management. It's just not something that I want to focus on. I really want to focus on building my own businesses, but it is a really good source of income for me, and it's something that I can fall back on if I need to make more money or if one of my other income streams kind of goes down and I just need more money. I just want to give a couple of tips and what I've kind of learned working on Fiverr all of this time. But first I want to talk about my course, Fiverr Kickstart. I always want to start with, you don't need a course to get started on Fiverr or doing anything online. There's plenty of free information out there. But if you're one of those people that gets stuck looking at information, doing research, reading conflicting things about how to do things, I personally find that it's easier for me to take a really quick course and follow someone else's guidance to get started in something a lot faster and start making money faster than to dig around at all the free information for several weeks. So it's totally up to you, but I did want to talk about my course, Fiverr Kickstart. It's kind of more of a mini course. It shouldn't take you very long, but it basically shows you how to set up your profile and gigs and do the research to figure out how to stand out against the competition, because there is a lot of competition on Fiverr. It shows you what I did to stand out against the competition and get those first few orders. So that's really the goal of Fiverr Kickstart, is to kickstart your account and help you get everything set up correctly so that you can get those first few orders and start gaining momentum and making money. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to check out Fiverr Kickstart, you can get more information or sign up with the link below in the description. I also will include a coupon code if you want a discount for that. Now, just some quick tips on making money on Fiverr, or just like insight on what I've learned from working on Fiverr for this time. One thing I want to mention is there's a new subscription feature that you can use on certain types of gigs. So it pops up on my Pinterest gigs and on my freelance writing gigs where you can offer a small discount for someone to subscribe to your gig. So let's say someone wants regular articles from me every single month. They want a 1,000-word article. They can subscribe for 3 or 6 months and I can provide them with a discount, and then it will just automatically charge them and give me an order every month for those 3 or 6 months. And this is a really good way to get repeat customers and recurring income that you can really depend on. So I highly recommend trying to use this feature, adding this feature to your gigs. And if you have current customers or customers that you're delivering to, you can remind them that you have this feature and they can save a little bit of money by subscribing to your gig. It won't work with every gig, but it does work in a lot of different categories. So check and see if that's available in the category that you're working in. One of my number one tips is because there's so much competition on Fiverr, you really do have to start really cheap. And I think this is what turns a lot of people away because who wants to spend an hour doing something for $10, right? But the point is that you're not always going to work for that little. When I first started, I want to say I charged $10 or $15 for a 500-word article. Those generally take me about 30 minutes or so. So that is not a good enough income for me, but it was really just to get my account going, to get some reviews, and to just kind of get activity on my account and start getting orders. My next tip is to, as you gain momentum, slowly increase your prices. So I was eventually able to increase my prices to a much higher price. I think I eventually got up to $95 for 500 words at my peak when I was getting so many orders that I just kept raising my price to try and slow them down. One thing I do want to mention is if you pause your gig and take a break, it is hard to get that momentum again because you're kind of out of the algorithm. You kind of kick yourself out of the algorithm. So when you have a lot of orders, you're getting more orders. So if you turn off your gig because you're going on vacation or you just don't want any extra work, it can be hard to get back to where you were. So sometimes you do have to go back down to those lower prices to get more people to hire you before you can raise them back to where they were. So that's just something to keep in mind, something that I've experienced. So I just wanted to mention that so that you are aware of that. And if you are a Fiverr seller, you can kind of keep that in mind before you go ahead and pause your gig. If anything, I would try and just slow down orders by increasing your delivery time. I also want to mention something that you would know if you have been on Fiverr for a long time, but delivering on time is so crucial. It affects your account and it affects the impression that you make on your clients that you have. So delivering on time is really important, making sure you have a delivery time that's realistic and that you get those orders delivered within the time frame that is shown on the countdown. So there's a really easy to follow countdown. It shows you exactly when your order is due. So making sure you deliver by that time is really important. It's like one of the most important things that you need to pay attention to when you're working on Fiverr. Of course, you want to do good work, but you also want to make sure you deliver on time. And the last thing I want to mention is to keep your stats up. If you log into your account, you'll see things like inbox response rate, order completion, or deliver on time, where kind of shows you how your account is doing and how responsive you are and how kind of responsible you are on the Fiverr platform. And keeping those above, I believe 90% is really important because if you don't, Fiverr will kind of drop you down in the algorithm and you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to have those numbers really high so that you can show up in search and get more orders. So moving forward in 2022 with Fiverr, I'm not sure I'm going to make as much money as I did last year just because, like I said, I'm focusing on my own business. I'm currently 9 months pregnant and I'm about to have a newborn, so I'm not really focusing on doing work for clients right now, but it is something that I like to have in my back pocket. I do have a couple of clients. I have a couple of people who have subscriptions to my articles, and then a couple other clients who just come back to me for big chunks of articles, like 4 or 5 at a time. And I will continue working with them, but I'm not trying to grow my Fiverr business at this point because I just don't have the time for it. And I really want to focus on my own businesses, more passive income, and things that I can do without having the pressure of working for someone else. But as you can see, you can make a really good income on Fiverr. And that's the whole reason I want to share these numbers with you so that you can see that it is totally possible to make a good income on Fiverr if you're smart about it, if you know what you're doing, and if you can do good work. I have several other videos on Fiverr, and don't forget to check out Fiverr Kickstart if you want to get started on Fiverr and get those first few orders. Again, I will have that link below with a coupon code so you can save a little bit of money. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos about making money from home and building multiple streams of income, and I will see you next time.